Good time before my time is up. Hey, let's get it now. I want the time of my life. It's worldwide. Oh, baby. Give me the time of my life. Let's get it. Hey everybody, it's Pro Trader Mike. It's April 15th and it's the Mojo Swing Trade video update. Let me give you an update right now. Here's the model portfolio. This is the market. It's up 116. S&P's up 14. Nasdaq's up 40. We have the Swing watch list all picked on Sunday night. Every one of them is up but this one. Gigs up 1.45, 3.70, 11.2, 1.3, 9.1, 15.3, and 3.64. Great watch list. Let's move down. I mentioned to you this email that I had got, and I'm going to share it with you again because I think it's pretty important. Let me go to it again. Here we go. The pros and the cons of the swing right here. Perfect. Found it. So let me get it into a notepad so I don't share the email address. Here's the pros and cons of the newsletter. Learning not to freak out when a stock drops 5%, 10%, or 20%, but rather look at it as a buying opportunity. I did that several times this week and it worked amazingly. I will admit I was freaked out when the ETAC dropped 46%. This morning there was one seller actually that did that. Already sold out with a 2% profit because he bought previously on the dip and sold into the pot. I will admit I didn't have the guts to buy that drop and couldn't believe my eyes as it ended the day green. Wow, what a lesson learned. Listen, stop focusing on glamour stocks and big gains. Instead, hit a lot of small gains. I made over 300% on Tesla a few years ago. That seemed pretty awesome, but really making 1 to 2% a day is the way to go. Much better. Don't be afraid to scale in into the trading commissions. We buy several times. Not sure why this has always been a stumbling block for me. I guess I'm a penny pincher at heart. $20 every time I get into a stock. Gasp. I could feed starving children in Africa for that. What a waste of money. But in reality, as long as you're profitable on the trade, after the fees are figured, who gives a rip about $20? Sure, I want to keep the fees down, but hitting your profit targets, it's what it's about. I think I paid more in trading commissions in the last 2 weeks than I did all of last year, but I made more money in the last 2 weeks than I did all of last year, so who cares? Okay? You get an idea. If these stocks dip and it's an opportunity, you jump in and you get involved in that, like we did with MNDO when it dropped and it went to 3, got an average of 310 and closed out the position into 314 today. We don't need to make much on that. Nice play selling these 3 stocks the other day on the cleanup. They didn't do anything after 63, 54, and 29 days, so we got out of them. Already had sold NAVB, profited on MNGA once, and already had sold SPDC half of it. So they were half positions, closed them out, put it into Novagen, which was yesterday at 712. 712, sold at 870 and 860. Perfect day. So here's Novagen, NVGN, right now at 818. Let me give you more of an update right here, what we got going on. So we have QTM, closed out half the position, 182, went to 189 today. Half the positions closed. QTM soared really nicely, and we bought it because the other day it traded 22 million shares. So right here it traded 22 million, went to 192. Right now it's at 189. We're selling half into this rally back up here, and we'll see the other half if it goes higher. Great job with QTM. Madison, MTSN, high today of 378. Here's Madison, picked up a little bit of that. Low was 367 on Madison. MTSN right now has an average of 376. It's at 369. Before it was almost there. QTM's at 188. HIMIX is even. SQNS is down a nickel. And NVGN has been closed. Great trade on NVGN. Position was 3/4 closed, and then it was closed. Done. So now we have Netsol. It's rebounding back at 560. And if we'll see if it gets back tomorrow, we'll sell it, see if we can get back to 580 range. UVXY got these covered calls, but the stock is down. It's at $11 right now. Got the stock at $13.90. However, we have this covered call right here that we got $1.35 in, so $13.90 minus $1.35. Don't play UVXY if you're not doing the covered calls. It's too risky. There's other better stocks to go in. Cost basis is $12.55 minus that $120. Cost basis is $11.35 and it's at $10.97. So no problem with the UVXY. We'll stick in this covered call and see what it does on May 1st back at $12. URRE is actually rebounding back a little bit. Let's see if it gets over 130. And ICLD has an average of 195. It added at 183 yesterday. Can't believe ICLD went to 183. It's firming up green here today. Listen, we sold that thing right there at 3. We sold it right there at 325. We sold it there at 270. We sold it there at 270. Sold it there at 228. Got to believe this is an amazing, amazing opportunity on ICLD. Let me show you. ICLD's chart. Let's take a look, because I want you to see what I see in ICLD. Here's ICLD. Let me just find it. Here it is. So this was the chart back here. They did a loss of 387 to a loss of $1.14 in 2014 to making 41 cents this year. The growth on that is spectacular with a small float, minimum funds. That may be the situation. We need some more funds, but look at this. 11.8 million, 14.1, 17.8, and 20.6 consecutively without breaking that pattern. They went from a loss of 377, a loss of 96, a loss of 81. They're going to do a loss of $1.14. That's a loss of 25 cents a quarter. So coming into this year, they're going to turn against that 377 and against this losses and losses. Stock should be back up here really nice in the mid 250s. When it runs big. So here's how it moves. It goes from 220 to 270, 50 cents in a day. It goes 50 cents in a day. It goes 50 cents in a day. So 50 cents from here on ICLD will put the stock back at 230. Okay? And that's what we got going on with that ICLD. So sticking into that. And otherwise, that's really it with the swing. I'm glad we cleaned up the database and the model and got into a nice little cash position, which we cashed in on the new picks. And let's see if we get HIMIX moving. I still like HIMIX. Still got QTM down here. Only closed out half a position. We'll see if the other half goes higher. And that's pretty much it. NTWK is at 560, rebounding back up. This one I wouldn't even mind taking off right now on NTWK. And let's get out of half of that. And let's just clean up the house because we don't want these stocks. See it? 5,000. Sit up here at 559, 560, 565. It's rebounding back up right here. Let's get out of this thing. Okay. Add that down here into the losers list. And let's just sit with very, very few positions in this crazy volatile market and take advantage of situations like we have been, quick and nimble. If it doesn't work, moving on. Okay? So let's take this baby out at 560. Get out of this thing. And that I don't mind doing. That is a 3.45 loss. I'm fine with that. Let's get rid of this NTWK. Okay, you don't have to get rid of it all in one day because it's rebounding back up, and do what you want with it. And that's how we roll with the Mojo. We're doing really, really amazing. Had to do this selling of a loss a couple of times in the last 3 years, maybe 3 or 4 times, and every single time, like we've done the other day and we moved it in, it worked out amazingly. So that's Pro Trader Mike and Mojo Swing Trading update. Thank you for being a member and just continuing to do really, really, really nice. I think the ABCD with 84% made up for everything. And I think the TRT this week for 15 and Novagen today and yesterday for 22 offset anything that could be here and any kind of situation. So great job, Mojo Swing. Pro Trader Mike signing off. Peace.
All right, I took another shot. Drop it like it's hot. Dirty shot, I'm dirty. She a freaky girl, and I'm a freaky man. She on the rebound, broke up with an ex, and I'm like Rodman, ready on deck. I told her wanna ride